Holy shit, I'm feeling stuff. I just sat down and started this, basically. I don't even know. I don't know what I have to say. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm just feeling things, and it's a lot. It's jumbled. I feel contradictory. There's this tremendous contradiction of emotion within me. There are these highs and these lows happening simultaneously. I feel like there's a lot in the collective right now. And I had that confirmed for me somewhat a few minutes ago. A friend of mine almost drank himself to death last night. And he called me, but I wasn't available. And I don't feel bad for that. But I feel things. He is okay. It doesn't serve him to be disturbed. It doesn't serve him for me not to pursue my desire. The truth is, all transition is intentional. I know that sounds callous, but as one who has been in that place countless times, and who's called and had that call unanswered. I've called hotlines and no one's picked up. And so I know what that feels like, but I know it's pointing to a greater truth, something deeper. I'm pretty jumbled right now, though. I didn't pick up because I was occupied. Happily occupied. And I don't feel bad about that. And there's a part of me, of course, that says you should, and that wants to guilt me for not feeling bad. But what would that have served? Who would that have served? If I had answered that call, I would have done so out of a sense of obligation. It would have felt unhappy to me. It would have felt like something I didn't want to do. And to force myself to do something that I don't want to do, that's not conducive to any sort of healing or positive shift. That's not serving anyone. That's not helping anything. That's generating more bad feeling. I'm not here to generate bad feeling. I'm not here to contribute to that. I'm grateful that he's still here, tremendously. But I'm also the person who knows everything happens for a reason. All of this happens happened for a reason, and for the right ones. It never goes wrong. There was a reason that when I called for myself, I didn't get an answer. It wasn't a punishment. It wasn't a trick. It was because there was something for me to see. There was something for me to take responsibility, to find power in there. To be accountable for myself, not to anyone else, to myself. And whatever choice I had made, it wouldn't have been wrong. But we reach those darkest depths not because we don't want to be here, but because we really do. Because we want to be alive, but we have all of this contradiction of that desire within us. Right now I have competing desires. A number of them. I'm just gonna pick one. So I paused the video because I wanted to say something to someone. That's just what it is. Because there's all of this should and should not in my head. What I should and should not do. There's no such thing. There is no should. There is no shouldn't. There's just what is. What do you want? What do you want? That's what you should do. What you want. That's it. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. All of that is made up. Everything is good. From the highest perspective, it's seen. Everything is good. All of it. Follow your desire. That's what's leading you. There's so much desire and so much contradiction to it. When you have a strong desire and you're contradicting it, it hurts. It hurts a lot. That's resistance. That's and what I mean by contradiction is you don't believe it. You don't think thoughts that support it, or you don't encourage and install thoughts that support that desire. So you think thoughts in opposition to it. They're not even your thoughts. They're thoughts that have been broadcast that you picked up. But because we tend to identify with the mind and think we are the mind, we think thoughts are ours. They're not ours. They don't belong to us, and we don't belong to them. They don't mean anything. They're abstract statements that we get to weigh the truth of, and the way that we verify them, that we test them, is in the court, the chamber of the heart. How does this thought feel? How does this statement feel? This statement that is wafted into my mental space. How does it feel? When I allow that statement to be thought, does it hurt? That means it's not true. And I can put that down. It's been tested. And I can allow it to point me to the truth as well. Because now I know the opposite of that is where the truth lies. So if I think a thought like, I don't want to be here, and I feel the pain of that, like I don't belong, something like that, I can know with clarity, with certainty, that that's not true. That's not what myself actually thinks. That's not what myself feels. That is in direct contradiction to what myself knows and desires. Now, in this moment, these are not the kinds of thoughts that I'm having, although I've had them many times. Many, many times. I recognize that they're there. They're out there. There are many people having these thoughts, experiencing them. Maybe that's the better word. Because again, you don't have a thought, and a thought doesn't have you. You don't belong to it. It has no power over you. We give them power by giving them the power of influence. We give them that by believing in them, believing that they're ours, believing that they mean something, that they have to be there or be followed. We don't have to follow thoughts. We can just receive them, look at them, examine them, and let them be. We can just let them come and go, like clouds, like cars on the street. You don't have to jump in and steer. You can just let them pass. You don't have to stop that train. You can just get off the train. The thoughts that I've been having are less clear. There's contradiction to my desire, but I said it again, the thoughts that I've been having. It's so challenging to shift the language around these things, but I'm determined to do it. The thoughts that I've been experiencing, that have wafted through. A lot of old stuff, a lot of old thoughts, triggering old emotions, insecurity. I mean, really, just feeling small and sort of lost, unsafe. Feeling inappropriate. I mean, it's all the same category of things. I know that there have been thoughts triggering them, but they've been hard to catch. It's been mostly feeling. Sometimes there's a situational trigger. A lot of times it happens when I'm hanging out with the person that I'm seeing. We have an intense connection. It's a deep soul connection. Whatever you want to call it, one way or another, that's the general description of it. It is a profoundly deep soul connection. It's real. And so all of the bullshit that has ever existed in me, in more than this incarnation, I feel, all the bullshit that I'd carried with me from the past ones, all of that gets brought to the surface. All of the pain, all the wounds get poked, many of them simultaneously. And it's like, I feel like this oozing bloody mass at times. Just, oh my God, how many holes do I feel like I have? Just, how many cracks? And there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run. I don't want to run. Ego, the mind, there's this powerful identity that was so comfortable with being alone. It didn't want to be alone. That's not a genuine desire. It felt safe. It feels safe. It's easier. For all kinds of reasons. There's no judgment there. There's no one to perceive as letting down. There's no pressure. It's easy. Of course, the reality is there's no pressure. It is easy. Because that entire mindset is based upon the experience of transactional relationships. That's what it's used to. Having to perform, having to provide some sort of service or value in order to be received, to be appreciated. That's not what this is. That's not how love works. That's not how genuine relationships of any kind work. There's nothing needed. I don't need anything from you. You don't need anything from me. There's no exchange taking place. It's just being. It's just, I appreciate your being. And I desire to be around it. So I choose to. And I'm complete in that. I have asked and given and received. My desires to be around you, I give myself permission to do that. You reciprocate in your desire to be around me. That's a part of my desire too, is for this to be mutually reciprocal, for us to want the same things, to want, for our wants to feed each other, for your wanting and my wanting to serve and support one another. And they do. And so it's all self-sustained. It's all very selfish. My love for you is very selfish. It's because it feels good to me. And yes, I want that love returned. I want that love poured upon me by your desire to give it. And I don't need it, but I delight in it. I want it, and because I want it, I trust it, because I know that what I want is sacred and right and righteous and real. What I want exists. I can trust that. Ego has such a hard time trusting. It's so afraid to trust. It's been fighting more and more with that recently. Of course, it only makes sense. I mean, again, the bigger the light, the bigger the shadow. The more that we are trusting, the more that is tested internally, the more stuff comes up that has stood in opposition. We've pulled this thread, and now the whole sweater is unraveling. So it's just going to be more and more for a while. There's a lot of pain there. There's a lot that I hadn't acknowledged in myself. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying words. I want to be feeling. I want to feel. I want to express. That's the one thing that I tried to communicate to my friend, is how important expression is. That's what leads us to being so balled up in resistance that we make a decision that might end our life. It's because we've been in a state of resistance and we haven't been letting things flow. We've kept those feelings inside until they toxify and they bubble and they get bigger and they become putrid, and then they're all that we can see. And they boil over and they cause us to take some drastic action to try to release that tension. instead of easing the pressure as we were experiencing it, instead of paying attention and noticing, oh, I feel this, let me take this moment to feel. We're not taught how to do that. We're not taught to do that at all. We're taught to repress, to soldier on, to just move on, get through it, shove it down in there. Maybe you take a couple of tears, but that's all you get, and then you keep moving. Keep moving. It's just this attitude again of you just keep moving. You never stop doing. You get back to it. You don't give yourself time to be. If you're not being, you can't be feeling. Being and feeling are synonymous. They're paired together. Thinking and doing are paired together. When you're thinking, you're doing. And when you're doing either of those things, you're not feeling. You're not being. We do so much that we don't give ourselves space and time to just feel. To just sit down and feel. And then when we do, there's so much there that it's like, I don't know what to do with this. And we immediately shut down because there's so much. It's been repressed for so long. There's all this anxiety, there's pain, there's sadness, there's anger. And we take the box out and go, oh, that's too much. Again, it'll just shove it back away again. It's not too much. You're bigger than that. You contain all of that. It's not too much. It's not more than you. It's not more than you are. It's all within you. All of that exists inside of you. Look how big you are to hold all of that. Just recognize that you are so spacious that you can contain all of this simultaneously. I mean, that's impressive. It can't overtake you. It can't be bigger than you are. You always expand with it. And I say all of this to myself. I'm just talking to myself. That's all there is self. There are no people, there's only presence. All of us, everything that there is, just is. It's just isness, it's just being. I just want to be with it. I feel so much of the pain. Pain that's from my past, pain that's in the collective. I don't want to push it away. I want to find a way to enjoy it, to appreciate it, because I have that power. But this is a painful time for many right now. New Year's Eve, the end of a year. A lot of people feeling a lot of things. It's just a tangled mess. That's how I feel it. It's blue and black and white and gray, and it's this big ball that's all just knotted together. There's so much good. There's so much unfolding. And all of it, it's all exactly what we want. And I know that when these emotions come up for me that are not congruent with that experience. It's nothing to worry about. It's not a problem. It doesn't mean anything. It's just old stuff. It's just old energy. Old emotion. Emotion is just energy like everything, and it just wants to flow. That's it. So all I ever got to do is give it a path. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what's been said. I don't know if I'm even going to post this. I'm aware that I am in a state of resistance. And that is okay. That's allowed. Even the frustration with it is allowed. I just keep allowing. I just pick wherever I can to step into surrender and say, okay, this is what is. The experience of resistance just is. Resistance is. It's just more presence. Presence in another costume. Just more being. We can just be with being. We can just be here. My articulation is jumbled, particularly recently. I know Mercury is in retrograde still, I believe. Not blaming anything. Just feeling. It's like a weighted blanket. It's heavy, but there's a weird comfort to it because it's familiar. There's a part of myself that is just so familiar with this that it wants it. It enjoys it. Can I just let that part take its pleasure? Can I just have fun with this? Can I just not fight this? Can I just observe? There is a sort of out-of-body feeling. I'm a little dissociated, but there's different kinds of dissociation. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna post this. But why not? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter. Again, the point of this is just for me to express myself, not to make a point, not to say anything. Sometimes the point is to say nothing at all. Just words. They're all just words anyway. Ultimately limiting. I'm fighting this feeling because I've judged it as something I don't want to feel. And that's just keeping it there and making the experience of it less pleasant. So I could just lean into it. I could just say, this is what's here. Denying it is pointless. Let's just feel it. Let's just feel it. There's an agitation. a tiredness, a confusion, a feeling of just wanting to let go. So just let go. So just do. Drop it. Let it be. Recognize that I'm holding on to this. I don't feel like I'm making any sense, but maybe that's just it. Just be. Don't make sense. It's not supposed to make fucking sense. Not everything is supposed to make sense. Most of it is not. It's just what it is. It's just meant to be what it is. That's it. Just accept it. Experience it. Let it be and keep flowing. I feel very tired. I took a nap. I'm supposed to go to a New Year's party tonight. I don't know if I want to. Yeah. Listlessness and apathy. I don't have to do anything. I can just be. Yeah. Thank you. I would like for this to feel less convoluted. But it doesn't. So that's okay. So that's what we're leaning into, a jumbled fucking mess. That's what we're feeling. Everything at once. So we're just gonna go with that. We're just gonna feel crazy. I'm just gonna feel all of it. Happy, sad, angry, peaceful. Just gonna feel it all at once. And let that be what it is. Yeah, I can feel that. There's power in that. I'm feeling everything. I am everything, so why wouldn't I be feeling everything? Checks out. I would like to just be feeling me. Singular. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. I know nothing. Let me be empty of knowing so that I might actually know directly by experience. I'm gonna just stop now. Judging my own ramblings. This is all for me. Come on. Come on. What a thing it is to be human, huh? Guess that's it. Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but I mean, thanks for putting that out there. Oh, okay. Is that necessary? Oh, yep. That was very necessary. I feel all of the past and all of the future. And I'm just gonna sit in it. I don't fucking know. That's it. I'm done. Just gonna be here feeling like a crazy person. Happy New Year.